Today we are talking about building a home here in Michigan and 5 things to consider before starting the process. Hello. Before jumping into our video today about building a home here in Michigan and 5 things to consider, my name is Matt Talbot. We actually run a real estate team here in Southeast Michigan. If you're thinking about moving to the area, if you have any questions at all about Michigan as a whole, Southeast Michigan, real estate, Detroit, Metro Detroit, please consider us. Also, it would mean the world to us to subscribe for more videos like this that tells YouTube that we're doing good and this video is of value to you. So jumping right in it, today we're here to talk about 5 things to consider when purchasing a new construction home here in Michigan. Number 5 on our list is vacant land. So many people reach out to us, they say, hey Matt, I love this lot, or they reach out to the team and say, hey, we're considering, building, we like this lot in this part of town, okay? Not all vacant land is considered equal, meaning when you purchase a piece of property, there's a lot that needs to happen to that property before you were to build a home on it, okay? The first few items that are important to consider are 1, electricity, where's that going to come from? 2 is gas for heat, where are you going to get your heat? 3 is sewage and water. So, you really got to think about where's your heat coming from, where's your electric coming from, where's your water coming from. A lot of these different issues are very important. I think a lot of times it get overlooked. People see, oh, that's the city I want to be in, or the township or the area, it's a piece of land, I might as well purchase it. That's a huge mistake that people make and can really get you into trouble because you don't really know the type of property that you can build on. It's important to do your due diligence and look into that particular site should you be considering purchasing vacant land. Number 4 on our list of things to consider before purchasing new construction or building a home is weighing out your options and the type of builder. I really look at builders in a couple different lenses. To break it down in this most simple form, you kind of have big builders, which are your national builders or your high volume builders. They're building hundreds of homes in any given area at any given time. And then I consider custom build as almost a second column, okay? So you really need to weigh your option between big builders and custom builders. So here in Southeast Michigan, some of the biggest builders around, number 1 here in Southeast Michigan is Pulte. We work very heavily with Pulte. We built many homes with them. So Pulte's a huge builder. Toll Brothers, another national builders. MI Homes. Lombardo is also a very big builder locally here in Southeast Michigan. A bigger builder, a lot of times they're very process driven. They're buying materials in bulk. So a lot of times there's some cost saving initiatives as well there. So it's can be a very cost-friendly approach to building using a bigger builder. There's a lot of systems. Another nice benefit of some of the bigger builders, a lot of people really like their homes. They're big teams, big design groups, big architectural groups internally within these organizations. So they build homes that are very modern, that fit the modern family's needs. And so a lot of times the design and actually layout of the homes go a long way for a lot of people, which is why your Pulte's and Toll Brothers and Lombardos, they build a lot of homes, okay? A custom builder gives you exactly that. You can build a custom home. So a big builder usually is building a home to a spec. They'll give you one type of house or 20 different types of homes to pick from. You pick the selection and you can customize some of the features and benefits within that home, but you're not able to completely customize the home. So with a custom builder, a lot of times there's smaller builders locally here. You can really say, I want to custom build this property. I want to build this house. I want it to look exactly like this, and you can build it out from scratch. It's a fun process doing custom construction. We do a lot of it, and starting with a good architect, sitting down with a piece of paper and a couple ideas and just starting and watch them draw from scratch can be a lot of fun. Pros and cons. So with custom construction, a lot of people I think sometimes try to build the home themselves. They try to design the home themselves, which can be a very big red flag in my opinion, because I think people think they know what they want, but leave it up to the professionals as far as the architects to go about it that way. Some other pros as far as custom construction is you can get, more bells and whistles. You can get some higher end features. You have a whole variety of selections that maybe some of the bigger builders don't offer. Your custom construction, you can really kind of go balls to the wall, so to speak. You can really go all out and pick the selections that you want. You can pick some really high-end appliances. You can go crazy, and the materials are literally limitless depending on the builder. So you really have to weigh your options between a bigger builder, a big box builder, and a more custom builder. And a lot of times that's going to be situational on location, price point, budgetary needs throughout the entire process, and talking to your realtor and understanding your options is going to be really important there. Which brings us to number 3 on my list today, which is budget. So with new construction, budget is a very blanket answer, okay? And I really think about 3 different budget points when you're thinking about new construction, and this really gets overlooked. Number 1 is the budget before the process. Number 2 is the budget during the process. And number 3 is your budget after the process, after the home is built. So if you think about building a home, we'll talk about the timeline in a minute. There's quite a long timeline when it comes to building a home from start to finish. So when it comes to budget, upfront costs. So number 1 on that list for budget is going to be, typically you start with the deposit. Builder deposits are a little bit different than your standard earnest money deposit when purchasing a home. They can be a percentage of the base price. They can be a percentage of the total build cost. There's a lot of variables in there. During construction costs, so number 2 as far as budget, when you're building a home, depending on the type of mortgage that you have, if you're financing that home, you can be on a construction loan or a conventional mortgage more often than not. And through that construction loan, there's actually a variable cost through the build, okay? So you a lot of times purchase the land. As the home is being built, your costs will continue to go up at an interest-only payment. If you have questions there or you need specifics, feel free to dive in deeper. We're going to make other videos regarding financing, but that's an important piece, is there's cost along the way when building a house. And number 3, when it comes to budget and new construction, probably the most overlooked are costs that aren't associated with the purchase. And again, depending on the builder, big builder, custom builder, there's a million different breakdowns here. But after the fact, meaning the home is built, the builder builds the house on the lot, it's complete, right? There's quite a few costs typically after the fact when moving in. A few items of example are window treatments. So when you build a house, obviously you don't have your shades and your blinds and stuff like that. Many times your appliances are not included in the construction. So you're buying your refrigerators, washer, dryers. Obviously, you know, the furnishings are yours to take care of either way. And other builders, sometimes even like air conditioning is not included with the cost of the build. So those costs will happen after the fact. And one of the biggest items to consider is your sod and irrigation. Most homes, at least in the subdivisions here in Southeast Michigan, there's a lot of requirements there. So you need a specific amount of shrubs and trees, and a lot of times you need your sprinkler system and irrigation. That all is a must from the HOA and stuff like that. So those costs can get very, very expensive. Number 2 on our list is timeline. Okay, this is a very, very loaded question, especially over the last couple of years with COVID and stuff like that. But timeline when building a house is a humongous variable. Some homes, if you're just purchasing a piece of vacant land, sometimes you need to go through permitting, you need to go through the city or township, you need to get approvals. That takes a very long time. Sometimes if you're already at the part of the process where the build is there and all you need to do is start digging the hole and the permits have been pulled, then that process can move a little bit faster. You know, building a home can take anywhere from a couple months to wrap it up to several years from start to finish, depending on permitting, architectural designs and stuff like that. Knowing your builder, knowing the specifics, having a realtor that introduces you that is familiar with the builder, they have a good reputation in the area, is very, very, very important. The timeline can really drag out in these things. It can go double or triple as long sometimes. So understanding how your contract reads, understanding the specifics of the timeline, understanding what needs to happen along the way, and someone that can ideally hold your hand through the entire process, right? You're talking about thousands of line items when it comes to building a house. So it's very important that someone can walk you through that process should you have not built a home before. Number 1 on our list are your emotions. New construction is a very emotional process for the agent, for the builder, for the client, okay? There's a lot of emotions involved anytime you buy or sell real estate. But that being said, with new construction, a lot of times these things take 8, 12, 16, 24 months, okay? They take a very long time. It can almost be very deflating, okay? You go to the site, there's no work that's done. It seems like things aren't really moving along. So if you're one of those people that likes to micromanage, it's very important that you have a real estate agent that knows new construction that can help you through this, because it's a very emotional process, okay? There's a lot that goes into selection making. There's a lot of decisions to be made. It is a marathon, not a sprint, and it's critically important that you understand that before going into new construction, or else it can be a huge pain in the butt for you. You sign on the dotted line, you want the house, and you're not going to be in for 18 months later, and there's a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of bumps and hurdles to get through, which is why we highly recommend hiring a good real estate agent that has lots of experience with new construction, whether it's a big builder or custom builder. There's a lot that goes into these things. As far as commissions, typically the builder offers to pay a real estate commission. There's no additional cost to work with the agent. At least here in the state of Michigan, the builder typically pays the commission. So for the most part, it's pretty much free of charge, with most builders at least, but I can't tell you how important for peace of mind having a good agent is that understands this and can take you from start to finish, because there's a lot to do when it comes to new construction. There's a lot to work through along the way. So that does it for today's episode. 5 items to consider when purchasing new construction here in Michigan. If you're interested in learning a list of different builders in the area, if you're thinking more of a big builder or custom builder and you have some questions there, we have a variety of different builders. We work with all the big builders in the area and most of the smaller custom builders. There are definitely some people to avoid as well too, so it's important to do your research, do your due diligence, to have some conversations with reputable agents and people that know the area and know the builders and understand the risk and reward along the way and really what you're going to get, so you can have realistic expectations along the way. If you like this video, if you're interested in Southeast Michigan, Metro Detroit, if you're thinking about moving to the area or live in the area and you want to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. It would mean the world to me and my team. And if you're thinking about buying or selling real estate, you know where to go. Thanks so much.